What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word motherhood? I'll tell you, it's the epitome of a woman's life. It's a blessing. It's beautiful. A mother should be a nurturer, a pillar of strength and support. A mother should be able to cook all these meals, plan all this stuff, and almost never allowed to have a bad day or even darkness, because it makes you look like a monster, because society has already painted a picture of how it should feel and look like. So you're kind of not allowed to feel any differently. No one, almost no one, ever talks about the responsibilities, the sacrifices, the challenges it comes with. You know, so many times struggling mothers end up feeling so alone with no one to genuinely talk to. This is your reminder today to check on your mom friend, your mom who has a child with special needs, the single parent, the mother who just had a newborn. You know, mothers apparently aren't supposed to break according to so many people, but the truth is so many moms are broken right now. I woke up to a video on Saturday on TikTok about a mother who took her life with her 9-year-old child and a 5-month-old baby. And the first thing that came to my mind when I had 5-month-old baby, I'm like, oh, postpartum depression. And this has prompted me to speak about the unspoken truths about motherhood and mental health. And also, in honor of last weekend's event, I was a speaker there, the Motherhood Square, organized by Lucy. I wanted to talk about the realities of motherhood because we talked about it that day, because it's deeply misunderstood, deeply misinterpreted, and deeply undervalued. And you know, social media makes it worse. It glamorizes aspects of motherhood, and people have unrealistic expectations of how it should look like. Have you seen those photos of, you know, big baby strollers with a neatly dressed baby? Pictures of mommy and daughter wearing matching outfits. Happy babies surrounded by bears and all of those toys. I hope we can all remember that these are pictures we post for. That is not reality. So today I'm hoping to debunk a few, definitely not all, but a few myths about motherhood for you today. Now, let us start with the obvious. Postpartum depression, which could be caused by, number one, physical changes. You know, after childbirth, a dramatic drop in the hormones in a woman's body will drop, which can leave a woman feeling tired, sluggish, depressed, stressed, you know. Number two, emotional issues. You know, when you're sleep deprived and you're overwhelmed, you may have trouble handling even minor problems. You may have anxiety, you know, over feeding the new child. You're not breastfeeding well. You may feel less attractive. You lack the ability to even take care of a newborn. You struggle with your sense of identity or feel that you've lost control over your life. You see, any of these issues can contribute to postpartum depression. And then you also have the genetics, etc. But those two are the most major ones. Now, depression symptoms may include depressed mood or severe mood swings. Crying too much. Yes, mothers hide in bathrooms and scream and they cry. Difficulty bonding with your baby. You know, everyone is swooning over the baby and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. But you don't see it. You're like, really? It's so exhausting, it's so draining, but you can't speak about it. Remember, the child is a blessing. And then there is withdrawing from the family and friends. You know, motherhood can feel lonely sometimes. And then you have loss of appetite, or sometimes you're eating too much, more than usual. And then there is the inability to sleep. We call that insomnia, or sometimes people are sleeping too much. All these could be signs of depression, postpartum depression. And then there is less interest and pleasure in activities you used to enjoy. And then there is fear that you're not a good mother. You know, no matter what you do, you feel like you're not doing it the way Sharifa is doing it because you think it's supposed to look similar. And then there is reduced ability to think clearly or concentrate, restlessness. There is severe anxiety and panic attacks, thoughts of harming yourself and your baby. These things are actually happening to mothers and we don't know. And they're quiet about it because they're not allowed to complain, you know. Everyone claims to understand that parenting is hard, but it's the type of hard you're not supposed to, you know, talk about openly. You're just supposed to quietly mumble about it to your spouse. God forbid you have a spouse who is not understanding. They'll all go like, "Sure, my mother did it, you should also do it." But if you have one who understands, you know, they'll be there for you. They'll support you. And it's the quite kind of hard that you only talk to your best friend about and go like, "Hey, Bananga, today is hard. I didn't sleep." But The minute you come on here and loudly speak about it, or heaven forbid, complain about how motherhood is hard, everyone will come for you. Be grateful. At least you have kids, okay? Children are a blessing. Newsflash, people. Moms know their children are a blessing. Moms know what they've signed up for. Well, as much as anyone can really know, what parenting is like until you've actually done it. This does not mean that raising children isn't sometimes difficult. Sharing the struggle does not make a mom ungrateful, okay? A single mom is having it hard. A mom with a child with special needs is having it hard. A mom with sick children is having it hard. Please stop shaming moms when they openly share their struggles, okay? It's okay for you to complain about your hard job. Does that mean you're ungrateful for it? It's okay for you to complain about your car. Does that mean you're ungrateful? People are allowed to be honest about their struggles, motherhood especially. It can be quite lonely, all right? Mothers aren't acknowledged enough. Mothers aren't celebrated enough. They're constantly on top of their kids' everything because of the societal expectations that we must give up everything for the sake of the children and at the expense of our mental health. And then there is work. There is domestic labor. Mothers are like the last on their list of priorities. There are no days off because even when they're down, they just can't stop. No one tells you how hard it is for a parent to parent differently from how they were parented. Many of us are out here parenting while reparenting ourselves. It is heavy, okay? No one tells you how the mom guilt feeling of not being good enough can be crippling. Today I'm talking to the exhausted mama. Dear mama, you're not alone, okay? There is no formula to being a good mom. What is good for one family could end up being terrible for another family. And that's because we are all different, all right? Different individuals with different needs and different situations. Stay-at-home moms are good moms. Career moms are good moms. Moms that breastfeed are good moms. Moms that formula feed are good moms. Moms that sleep train are good moms. Moms that co-sleep are good moms. You get my point, right? Dear exhausted mama, I'm still talking to you. Remember that you can feel two things at the same time, okay? You can mourn your old life without kids, Remember the days when you constantly didn't feel the need to take care of someone, and also love your children fiercely. Yes, there is room for both those feelings. So do not feel guilty for it. Dear mama, I'm still talking to you. Becoming a mom doesn't mean that your needs come last. You know how when you're on the plane and the flight attendant is, going over the safety procedures before taking off? Well, if you haven't been on a flight yet with children, then let me share that. Flight attendant will make sure that you know that in case of any emergencies, you have to put on your mask first, okay, before helping your child or children. And if you think about it, that makes sense. If you try to help your child first and end up passing out because you don't have your own mask on, you can't help anyone else. This also applies to life outside being on a plane. Your needs as a mom are important because if you're taking care of yourself fully, you can then give more of yourself to other people. You can't pour from an empty cup. Dear mama, having kids most times will put a strain on your relationship. Exhaustion, crying baby, trying to figure things out as you go, new financial responsibilities, etc. does not exactly, give a good environment for certain relationships to thrive. That's why it's very important that you choose a good partner to parent with. Moms are strong enough to carry the mental load of motherhood, but sometimes we need to set it down. I hope there are more motherhood circles where mothers can have honest conversations like this, all right? Until everyone can feel seen and heard and then find strategies, all right? Thanks to all the motherhood platforms who are trying to change our mindset on the issue. Dora Mwima, Lucy of the Motherhood Square, Priscilla, the author of The Calm Parent. The truth is, we moms not only have the physical responsibilities for feeding, bathing, clothing our children, we have the emotional, social, intellectual, and spiritual responsibilities for them. If we can only admit that it's exhausting and never ending, we won't be fighting ourselves trying to pretend it's something that it's not. Okay? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.